Greetings, everyone. This is Mr. Patricia Samuels, and the first thing I want to say to you is Happy New Year. Yes, this is 2015, and we have made it over from 2014 into this brand new year, a brand new opportunity to do things better than we did on last year, and another opportunity to see our dreams come true, to go after them and see them come to fruition. The first thing I want to do on today, this is our victorious Christian living tip for this month of January, and we're talking about setting smart goals. But before I get into that, I want to share some of the prophecies that have been given for this year so that you will be blessed by them. These are just quick word prophecies, not the long elongated versions, which you can find online by these ministers that I'll mention. But first of all, we have from Brother Kenneth Copeland that this is the year of the open door. Yes, doors that were once shut in your face are going to be open on this year. Brother Jerry Savelle said this is a year of visitations, manifestations, and demonstrations. And then Pastor George Pearsons, who is Brother Copeland's son-in-law and the pastor of Eagle Mountain Church, said it's the year of the overcomer. And personally, all of these are just sounding real good to me. I love all of these that I've heard. Also, Brother Copeland said this is a year for those who live by faith. Get your faith out, dust it off, get it to working for you, because you're not going to be able to make it unless you have some faith. And this is the year for those. For those who do live by faith, you're on the money this year. This is your year. And then Pastor Green said that this is that day. That day that has been prophesied over. This is that day. So when you sing this is the day, maybe you ought to sing this is that day that the Lord has made. Bishop Hilliard out of Houston said that we're entering into 7 years of plenty. Praise the Lord. And then my pastor, Bishop Jake, said that this is not just a new year, but a new normal. And we're moving into an area to where things that the blessing is there, and it's going to just seem like normal. It's going to seem like you know it's a blessing, and I'm not explaining this quite right, but you know that you're in a blessed state, but it's perpetual, and it's a place of residence for you, and it's a new normal for you. You're not going to do what you did last year and the year before that, and then all of the heartaches and all of that, because you have entered into a new normal, and because it's God, it's a good normal. So be blessed by those words of prophecy for 2015. Now, setting smart goals. This is the blog topic that I did on in the month of November. So please go to my website, patriciasamuels.org, and go to the blog section and look at the November blog, Setting Smart Goals, so that you can have it all typed out for you, and then you can print it off from there also. But I wanted to do it in this month's Victorious Christian Living Tip, just to give us another opportunity to get those goals set and to get working on them. I gave it to us in November. Ideally, you set goals for the next year in October. Now, confession time. For me, I did not do it in October, and when I put the blog out in November, I didn't do it then either. Here we are in January, and I still have not done them. I have my calendar, very nice calendar that I ordered. It says Seize the Year 2015, but as you can see, it's very blank. Nothing has been filled out yet. Ideally, it would have been filled out in October, or certainly before the end of the year, but that did not happen. And the reason that I'm letting you all know that is to give you some encouragement that it's not too late to get it together. Things happen. We've had everybody I think I know, and probably even a lot of people I don't know, have had a rough few years these past few years. I know I have personally, and probably one day I'll go into greater detail on that. But what I'm saying is that with difficulties and all that, you get thrown off your schedule. You don't get everything done as you normally would, and more peaceful times and that kind of thing. But it's not too late. My calendar is blank, but I have it out. I took it out of the tube today. That's why it's still all curly Q. but I'm gonna flatten it out and fill it out and get going. And I want you to do the same thing. And I just want to encourage you this month. I know a lot of people have set New Year's resolutions, and the statistic is that before the end of the month, that 50% of people would have given up on them. So I don't want you to do that. I want you to be able to get some goals that you see come true. And setting smart goals The SMART is an acronym standing for specific, the S is specific, the M measurable, the A action oriented, the R realistic, and the T timely. So you want specific, measurable, action oriented, realistic, and timely goals. And I go into a great example. Well, I say great, I made it up, but I go into an example in the blog, but I'll try to hit on some of it here. And what I did in that example was taking a trip to Disney World, and that would be your goal and for your vacation. So you're starting out in January, and your goal is to go by the end of the summer before your kids go back to school, that kind of thing. And so you have 8 months pretty much to work out your goal. So it's specific, taking the trip to Disney World. The measurable part of it would be you would find out the specifics, the criteria of going, the costs, the travel, how you're going to travel. You're going to drive, are you going to fly, or taking the train, how are you going to get there? So you want to know the type of travel, the cost of travel, the hotel costs, or are you going to stay with the family, or that type of thing. And then the admission, how much are the tickets to get in, can coupons be used, where can you get coupons, and all of that. So that's goes into the measurable part of it. And then you have your plot of months. You have January through August to get to measure out how close you are to seeing your goal come true. You can look at the calendar and say, like, you set out all of the price of it all. So you need to see, okay, I have X amount of dollars in the bank. It costs X amount of dollars. So what do I have to do to get there? Save this amount every month, pick up an extra job, what do you have to do to make the money work out for you? So those are things that you can measure. Action oriented. So with this Disney World vacation, the action could be saving the money. I'm going to save on every week. I'm going to save $50 a week, or every paycheck I'm going to save this amount. I'm going to put it in this account that draws a little interest, or all of that. That's what you would do to take some type of action towards it. And other actions could be calling Disney World to get more details, go and do your shopping for whatever you're going to wear when you go there. Just little simple things like that are all measurable and action oriented. You need some kind of goal where you can take an action on it. It's not just a wish off in your mind somewhere, but something where you can go about and do it. If it's an exercise goal, I'm going to do 25 jumping jacks today, and tomorrow I'm going to do 30 crunches. Something like that is measurable, and you can take action on it. Realistic, the R is for realistic. Is your goal realistic? If you live somewhere south of Timbuktu and you don't have the money to travel to Florida, you don't have access to an airport, you're in the middle of the jungle, and you can't even get to the next town to get to the airport, well, getting to Disney World by August might not be realistic for you. It could be with a lot of work, but it may not be realistic for you. So seek God on what's realistic for you. And again, God's law, faith, it supersedes natural law. So you just have to take that caveat with it. Is it realistic? Is God saying it to me? Because you can talk yourself out of stuff that God says you can have. So you take that to God and you let Him speak to you on whether what you're wanting Him to do in your life is realistic or not. And then you go from there. Finally, is it timely? So we had our 8 months out for this goal, and you have to have this time limit set on it, because you won't take action. It'll just be a wish and a hope, and maybe it's just going to come from somewhere. God will do it for me, that kind of thing. No, you want to set a time limit on it. And even if you get to your time limit, you may reach it. You may reach your goal before your time limit. You may reach your goal on your time limit. Or in some cases, you'll reach goals after the time limit. But when you get to that time, you can look back and see the progress that you've made. And then you can regroup. You can figure out what to do. You can reset the date as a time limit. And then this is what I have left. Say, for instance, you needed $1,000. And at your goal date, you have $500. So then you say, I'm $500 out. So what do I need to do to get $500 so that I can go perhaps during the Christmas break or something with the kids, or next summer, whatever. So you'll just go from there as far as setting those goals and making them SMART, goals where they are specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and timely. Please go to the blog, because I'm just kind of blowing through it right now, but please go to the blog because it's all written out for you. And again, you can print it out, you can read it. There's a simple goal, and I'll walk through each of these steps, and it will help you to do your own goals, whether it's a vacation as it's described here, or if it's going back to school. I remember the school goal I had when I went and got my master's degree. I wanted to make all A's, and I did, but I didn't think it was a 2-year program, and I didn't think 2 years all A's. I thought one trimester at a time. We had 3 trimesters a year, and I thought one trimester at a time, 2 classes per trimester. So I need 2 A's now. Got those, put them in the bank, if you will. And then second trimester, okay, 2 more A's. So I broke it down like that, and then at the end of all that, I had the 4.0. But I didn't sit there and think and worry about it. I had to break it down into measurable chunks. I did have a time limit, graduation, but those action steps, those measurable steps, those action-oriented steps were all just piecemeal, is what you would do with all of your goals. So whatever kind of goal you have set, vacation, school, losing weight, what have you, you take these steps to set them into action for you. SMART goals: specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and timely. And before I go, I just want to give you a scripture, and that is Psalm 37:5. Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. God is awesome. God is awesome. I'm so excited. Like I said, with been jotting down everything that all of the pastors that I follow have been saying about this year, and man, this woman is happy because this is going to be the year. Open door, visitations, manifestations, demonstrations, year of the overcomer, the year for those who live by faith. This is that day. 7 years of plenty, not just a new year, but a new normal. You be blessed and you go get yours. Go get yours and then write me and tell me that you got it. God bless you. I love you. Until next time, this has been Minister Patricia Samuels giving you this month's Victorious Christian Living Tip. God bless.